Hey guys, what's up? Before we dive in, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe. It really helps out my channel a lot.
Hello and welcome back to another toy review. Today we're going over a classic from my childhood, the Saga of Crystar, the Crystal Warrior. Crystar has been included in the Marvel Legends wave, and I'm excited for this. This has been a toy that I've been a fan of ever since I was in, I think, 2nd grade. I had quite a few of the figures and the castle playset. But before we get started, let's look at the history. Crystar was an action figure from Remco Toys that came out in 1982. There were 7 figures in the main run with 2 Wizard playsets. We had 2 Battle playsets, 2 Shatterpolt playsets, 2 Dragons, and a Crystal Castle. They also came with these little Prisma stands that you could look through, and it made it look like that. Now with the comic, it came out in 1983 and was 11 issues that included Doctor Strange, Nightcrawler, and Alpha Flight in the final issue. Now let's get this guy open, but first let's take a look at the packaging here, the traditional Marvel Legends packaging with Marvel at the top. We got the little Build-A-Figure logo at the top for the Void. Here we have the figure inside with his accessories. On the back, we have all the figures from the wave with the Build-A-Figure. And a little write-up about Crystar with an image from the first comic book of him. Pause it if you want to read it. On the bottom, we get a bunch of gibberish. On the side, we get that same awesome image of Crystar. And on the other side, it's the same image, just reversed. Alright, so now comes the time I've been waiting for. I'm going to get this guy open and see what it's all about, if it holds up to the original. And here he is out of the packaging with all his accessories. Do a nice little spin so you can see all around. And let me tell you, the sculpting on this is amazing. It's just like the old one, just more poses, or posability. Now for accessories, for the Build-A-Figure, we get these tentacles for the Void. And these are in the same kind of clear plastic, but a little rubbery. And they got little spots there just to plug it into the back of the Void body when you get it. These are actually cool. They could be used for background for setups or anything. Now for the figure. For accessories, he comes with 2 open hands, or grabbing hands, besides the fist and the pimp slap hand that he has. He has a shield that is a lot like the old one, just not as detailed around the edges. The old one had more detail. And the sword, which the sword actually has more detail now than the old one. I really like this sword. Let me try to get it to get clear so you can see the detail. Now the old sword was really rubbery and gummy. This one's a little bit more sturdier, kind of a harder plastic, so that's good. And now let's take a look at the man of the hour, Prince Crystar. Now I will tell you right away, like I said, the sculpting on this is awesome. It's amazing. All the crystal detail and stuff on them. Sadly, the helmet, like the old one, is not removable. The old one, you could take the helmet off and on, and he just was a bald crystal head. This one, it's permanently attached. So, oh well. Now for the waist down, you can see the crystal legs. He's got the little crystal or diamonds on the boots. And he still has a little diamond on the belt right there too. And he has a little octagon with the little spots all around it. And you can see you can see through the body. With stuff like this, you're going to still see some of the parts inside since it's clear. But the way that they masked it works really well. I really like how they did this. Now for articulation, the head turns all the way around. He could look down really, really far actually. And he could only look up so far. And he could do a little head tilt from side to side. Not much, but better than nothing. The helmet kind of gets in the way a little bit. But the helmet is really a little gummy, so it's not super hard. Now his arms can go all the way around, all the way up, like that far. We get bicep swivel right there. We get double elbows, but the gloves kind of get in the way of going up higher. And of course, wrist. Now we get torso, which is shocking for something like this. Waist. Legs, he goes so far for that way, and he does the splits that way. Now we have upper thigh. Double knee. So he can go almost kick his butt. No boot cut. And we have ankle. Now to switch the hands, just pull them off and pop them in. And speaking about the classic Crystar, what really hurt this toy line and comic book was not having a cartoon. If this toy would have had a cartoon series, it would have been a bigger hit like Masters of the Universe and other types of toys. But sadly, for some reason, this got ignored and did not get a cartoon. Now, the comic was awesome. The comic had some of the most beautiful covers I've ever seen on a comic book. Sadly, the art on the inside was still good, but as the issues went by, the bodies went from this crystal kind of jagged shape on the bodies to just smooth. They just look like silver and green people, not crystal people later in the comics. And here he is all posed with the sword and shield ready for action. I really hope Marvel Legends do more figures based on the Saga of Crystar. I hope we get Moltar, Odioji, Zardith. Whoops. Let me bring him back up. But hopefully we get like Zardith, Warbow, Field Spare. You know, there's a lot of cool characters that were in this comic that could use a new toy. And here we have him in another pose. As you can see, now he's standing a lot better than he was earlier. Do him in the classic Crystar kind of pose, which you couldn't get the original figure in this pose. The original figure only had like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points of articulation, I think. But as you can see, like I said, I really love the sculpting on this. The crystal sculpting, the diamond rough edges, it's really, really cool. Great job, Marvel Legends. And here we have my favorite childhood toys all remade. We have Crystar from the Saga of Crystar, of course. And as we go around, we have Luke Skywalker from Star Wars, Masters of the Universe, Superpowers, G.I. Joe, and Secret Wars. Those were my favorite toy lines as a kid. Of course, Transformers and GoBots were in there too, and Thundercats. But these right here were the main ones that I always played with the most through my childhood was Crystar, Star Wars, Master Universe, Superpowers, G.I. Joe, and Secret Wars. So it's so cool to see all my childhood toys remade and looking so much better than I ever imagined that they could look. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed. Don't